On behalf of Norway's chairship of the Arctic Council, it's a pleasure for me to wish you all welcome to this third international conference on the ecosystem approach to management in large marine ecosystems. The concept of the ecosystem approach to management, or ecosystem-based management, has been extensively discussed for more than 30 years and is today established as the overall concept for Arctic cooperation on protection of the marine environment. The subject of this conference is ecosystem-based management in a rapidly warming Arctic, and the purpose is to share experiences and discuss common challenges. Hopefully, the conference will continue in setting the course for further cooperation in this important field. This conference is about how to proceed in practice, domestically and through international cooperation. The Norwegian government has very recently updated Norway's integrated ocean management plan as a white paper to the Parliament. These plans describe Norway's practical approaches and will be explained in another presentation later today. Here I will focus on the need for Arctic cooperation on this very important topic. Strengthened cooperation on ecosystem-based management across the marine Arctic is among the main priorities of the Norwegian chairship. Already during the Icelandic chairship in 2020, Norway presented a concept paper on how to strengthen such cooperation. This paper focuses on the common challenges posed by climate change and the need for a closer cooperation on and coordination of area-based management measures across the marine Arctic. The case for closer cooperation on ecosystem-based management across the marine Arctic is quite straightforward. The region shares many wide-ranging populations of fish, marine mammals, and seabirds that migrate across and beyond national jurisdiction. Shipping and fisheries are also taking place across jurisdictions, entering new areas as they become more accessible due to shrinking sea ice cover. Ocean currents ensures that impacts from activities in one part of the Arctic may have consequences far away from its origin. In the Arctic, climate change is happening faster than anywhere else in the world, changing ecosystems at an unprecedented level. When ecosystems change, we must adapt the way we manage our activities to those changes. If we fail to do so, there is a risk that our management will prove to be neither efficient nor sustainable. Climate change is already making many Arctic marine species and ecosystems more vulnerable to additional stress from human activities. This is particularly true for high Arctic species and ecosystems dependent on cold climates and sea ice, many of which will have their range reduced as the Arctic continues to warm. We also see new species moving from the south, displacing high Arctic species. Some of these new species are commercially harvested and economically valuable, with range shifts introducing new challenges also for fisheries management. It has been said that addressing climate change is about avoiding changes we can't manage and managing changes we can't avoid. The only way we can avoid unmanageable changes in the Arctic and elsewhere is through effective climate policies that reduce greenhouse gas emissions in line with the Paris Agreement. But even if we succeed in this, there is already a lot of warming in the pipeline as a result of the greenhouse gases we already have released into the atmosphere. So we must adapt. Climate change means environmental change, but just as challenging as change itself is the higher degree of uncertainty and unpredictability. We need to improve our capacity to predict future conditions as well as our understanding of the uncertainties and risks. To cope with this, we need to apply a precautionary approach in our management. We already have a solid basis for cooperation across the marine Arctic with the Law of the Sea, the extensive work on marine protection under the Arctic Council, and a number of international agreements, including the International Agreement to Prevent Unregulated Fishing in the High Seas of the Central Arctic Ocean and agreements under the IMO. But even if the Arctic has cooled in the geopolitical sense, the need for cooperation in ecosystem-based management across and beyond national jurisdictions will increase as the Arctic continues to warm and become more accessible, with activities expanding into new and often vulnerable areas. While the title of the conference could leave the impression that this is a subject for experts in science and management only, ecosystem-based management is a wide concept covering a wide array of management and conservation measures, including area-based measures such as marine protected areas and other effective conservation measures. Recently, we have signed up to the new Global Biodiversity Framework with its target to conserve 30% of land, water, and seas, and the UN Treaty on the conservation and sustainable use of marine biodiversity in the high seas. Norway is also chairing the International High-Level Panel for Sustainable Ocean Economy, in which its members have committed to and stressed the need for 100% sustainable ocean management of all areas under national jurisdiction. We need to follow up on these commitments in ways that take the special circumstances in the Arctic into due consideration. This should be a motivation to enhance our cooperation in the field of ecosystem-based management and continue to develop common knowledge, understanding, and tools to this end. Ecosystem-based management in the Arctic is about people as much as it is about ecosystems. In particular, it's about indigenous people and other local people in coastal communities dependent on marine ecosystems for their livelihood. And it's about scientific as well as traditional knowledge. I can see from your program that this will be well reflected in your discussions here in Tromsø. I wish you all the best and a fruitful conference. Thank you very much.